This exercise is about deadlifts. I would say as a physio, it is the most common exercise people hurt their back in the gym. And it's a great exercise for working on leg strength and control, but it's also, there's a risk and a reward to it. So understanding and appreciate the difference between a squat movement and a deadlift, and being able to do both interchangeably is quite important. So the start of the movement is the same as the squat. I want you to, number one, feet shoulder width apart. So just before you do anything, think about where your feet are. And think about how your weight feels on the feet. Most commonly when people start the movement with this, they will shift a lot of their weight back to their heels. A bit of that's okay, but again, think of your foot like a tripod. Your center of gravity is over your whole foot, not just your heel. And you're going to start by sitting your hips and your pelvis back in space and bowing forwards. So let your knees bend, body go there. And with I've got Tiff holding on to a dowel, just keep the stick close to your thighs and shins the whole way. Okay? Once she's bent down a little bit, now she's not going to continue to squat down. She's going to bow forward like she's one of those little toy birds that goes down and drinks out of the water. She's going to tip forward. Your hamstrings and your glutes are like the chain of a drawbridge. They're controlling this. They go from the back of the knees up to your sits bones. They will lengthen, and they're what can lower you. Can you go further? Okay, and then you're going to use those muscles you're going to shorten them, and they're going to drive you back forward and push your hips back to the stick. Okay, so start with a bit of a squat. You can allow your knees to bend a little bit more, and then start tipping forwards. The stick will start tracing down the fronts of your shins. You should start feeling your hamstrings starting to get tighter and tighter and tighter. If you keep going forwards and you don't feel like your hamstrings are getting more tight, you've started bending elsewhere. Yeah, so you can get closer to the floor, but you're not hinging in your hips. So it's important to feel that point. Just maintain a neutral position, and she's going to use these guys they're going to shorten and they're going to drive her back forward. You end up being a little bit clenchy in your butt at the end, and then you have to relax that a bit and start to tip forward again. This is easier to do with a little bit of load, more than just a light stick like this. But as you get down in that position, you still want to hold on to your abs there. You use your lats, your abs, your bum, and your hamstrings. They're going to lift you back up and then drive back forward. So it's important that the initiation of the lift up with that comes from your legs, not trying to lift your chest up. Okay? Yeah, you're not pulling everything up with your back. That's one way to get hurt. Another way to get hurt is not appreciate when you've run out of range of flexibility in your legs and you start bending here and then yanking something heavy up from your back. The hinge point is your hips and your knees. You're using your bum and your hamstrings to push down through the floor, and you drive your pelvis forward to the wall in front of you in the stick. Good. Feel like you've wound up, your hamstrings like elastic band, you've engaged them, and you're going to let it go and it drives you back. And you finish in that position, your bum's a bit grippy, your abs are holding on, you're not all leaning way back like that. Okay? And go for it one more time, particularly if this was a loaded weight. When you initiate to push, you're going to use your abs a little bit more. You're going to push through your feet and drive. Okay? I talk about the floor being a leg press machine. This is a leg exercise, not a back exercise. Push through it, use your abs, drive with your legs, and don't let everything come from your heels. Okay? It's a bit more your heels, but it's your whole foot.